Hey guys, you're watching the Burden of Truth After Show. This is season 1, episode 4, Family Ties, and Luna is Joanna's sister. I knew Joanna's dad was sketchy, but I didn't know he was that slimy. So stay tuned as we unravel all the dramatic events of tonight.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I like this version.
Sad song with upbeat dancing.
It makes me always want to bounce my shoulders. I don't know why we're smiling. This is the worst song. It's so sad.
I think it's because when a show is like, a show's episode is that terrible where you're like, oh my god, stop.
Exactly. We've got to like motivate ourselves.
Enjoy it somehow.
Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us. We're excited today. So we have a brand new, amazing co-host. But first, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Parris Rose. You guys know me. Take it away.
Hey guys, I'm Mina. I am actually really excited to join this panel, but I'm also like, what is going on with this?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What is happening with Burden of Truth?
Oh, yeah. She was tossed into this whirlwind.
It's so much fun to watch with you, though. Like, you're the best watching partner, but I had to watch all of this by myself, but I don't know.
Exactly. She's with us, you know, because it's like little breadcrumbs I was saying before. We're never like, it's nothing too big ever happening.
Yeah.
But maybe we just got to hold on. We gotta hold through it.
And I'm always waiting, like, what's gonna happen? And then I feel like it's so easy to predict the next cheesy line. And then I'm like, there has to be something that happens.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When you read the synopsis of this show, you're like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah. It's gonna be like a Shonda Rhimes type of thing.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna learn about the law and like this powerful female lead taking it into her own hands. Like, everything is good on paper, but I think it's kind of like, you know, when you meet a guy and you're like, oh my god, everything's good on paper, but it's just not there.
Just not connecting. But we were saying, you know, the show already aired in Canada, and the viewers did say that we've got to hold on, that it's something good. So, like, I'm waiting.
And I genuinely believe that, because I feel like this happens a lot with CW shows where, like, you watch the first 3 episodes and you're like, oh my god, what did I get myself into? And then somehow, like, out of nowhere, you're like, I am emotionally invested in this, even though I never cared for it.
Right.
And, like, I want to know what happens. And then finally, at some point, it gets better. Like, this happened with this other show on the CW, The Outpost. I felt the same exact way. So I think this is going to, like, pick up as well.
Definitely. I mean, I am still invested in Joanna. I really like her character. I sometimes love to hate her character because she's supposed to be super powerful and super, like, strong, this powerful lawyer, like something from Scandal. But then she's so weak when it comes to her dad. I think I talk about her dad every episode. But again, she's just so weak with him. And I feel like this episode, finally, she gained her strength. She took her strength back from her dad. I was a little annoyed because once again, her dad was going to come in and basically change her mind. Like, he comes in and tells her, this case isn't worth it, come back home. And she was so like, I'm doing it. It's important to me. I need to get to the bottom of it. He says like 2 lines and she's like, you know what? I'm packing it up. I'm going. Sorry, Billy. I'm out of here.
Her reactions don't make sense to me, because even, like, building on that, even, like, in the very first episode, when someone went up to her and was like, are you Joanna, blah, 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 and she's like, yes, and then she slapped her, like, really hard, or, like, punched her in the face. Like, all she did was, like, stare and like, look into the distance and be like, ow. And I'm just like, what? And, like, this happened again in this episode where, like, she's basically getting yelled at by, what's her name? Geraldine Spence. And then she's just, like, looking at her like, like, okay, do you have any other, like, reaction other than that?
She's
like,
super, like,
what are you, like, no normal person reacts to that, just furrowing their brow and being like, wow. Like, I would be like, wait, what's going on? Like, tell me, like what the heck? Like, I don't know. It's just, like, the reactions are so cheesy. And I'm like, no normal person would ever react to anything like that.
You should have been here the first episode, or whatever that episode where she got punched. Because we were both like, wait, really? Her maybe she's been punched before? Because she was like, oh. Like, she just had such either, sorry, Kristen, but either bad acting or her character's kind of like a monotone personality. I don't know how to describe that. It's just like,
and And even just everything
Daria.
about that. Yeah, right. At least Daria had personality.
Yeah.
So that's sarcasm. But I just feel like even that whole scene in the first episode where like she gets punched, I literally heard the sound effect. Usually you're like, oh no, a normal punch would sound like that. I was like, this is so like,
yeah.
I can't deal with it.
So true. But I feel like she's not alone. I feel like all the characters kind of have this not that big of a reaction to anything. One person
except for the girls, the high schoolers, they're so dramatic, but to the point
because
where
they're
it's
twitching. Is it the twitching that makes you feel that way? Because I feel like they're also, I feel like I would be freaking out way more than they are. They are freaking out in a very soap opera dramatic way, while I'll be like, well, maybe I'm a soap opera dramatic person too. I think I'll be like, I'm dying. I can't go to school. I can't go to work.
They're doing that though, and they're like, you don't know what it's like, okay? You don't know what it's like to be.
They are teens. Teens are like that. Teens are like, it's all about me. You don't know what, no one has experienced this before. That's just teens. I really feel that way.
So it has nothing to do with the twitching.
The twitching gets me every time. I jump every time they do it. I actually have to say they might be good actors, because I never expect their twitches. I'm like, every time it happens, they're just like...
But it's so dramatic because it's like, and then they start seizing on the floor, and I'm just like, that's not even though seizures do happen like that, there's something about it where I just can't take it seriously. I kind of try not to laugh because I'm like, this is so improbable. I can't... In film and cinema and TV, there's something called suspension of disbelief, where you can fully get rid of that thing where you have to have something be realistic, and you immerse yourself into fantasy realms, fictional realms. Right. But with this show, it's like I can't get rid of it. I'm just like, this isn't realistic.
Maybe the people of the town are with you and they can't because they don't take them seriously. Yeah. The people in the town are just like, well. And maybe because it's only 5 or maybe 6 girls. Maybe 4? I don't know. Not enough girls are sick, so I feel like no one is taking it seriously except Joanna, Billy, and me. I'm taking it seriously.
But even how they got bullied, by the other students, Twitchers. I don't think kids. I know, kids are mean, but in today's day and age, I don't think people would make fun of you for. It's just all of it's so.
Right. It's supposed to be modern and it's supposed to be a small town. So if it is a small town, you guys all know each other. I feel like they wouldn't really be making fun of them. Yeah. I feel like they would be more engaged or just let them be on their own. But making fun of them, calling them the Twitchers.
I don't know.
I don't really believe that so much. Yeah. But was it kind of weird to you that, Ben Matheson, he owns the mill, and his daughter Taylor is also one of the Twitchers. And he says that she's so important, she is his one child, but he's not really into trying to get to the bottom of it. Is that weird to you? He's avoiding it at all costs.
That's what makes him seem like this really cliche supervillain, because it's I care, but I'm obviously involved in some way. So
do you think he is involved, the dad? Not Joanna's dad, Taylor's dad.
I don't think he did anything, but I think he's an accomplice because he knows what's going on and he doesn't want to talk about it because he knows it will directly affect his mill, and he probably knows it's one of his workers or something.
Right. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. On one hand, I get it. It's his daughter that's sick, but she's also not dying. And he's like, maybe if I do speak out, I'll lose my mill. All of these people will lose their jobs. And maybe that's a little bit worse than what's going on with his daughter. I don't know. I'm trying to understand how he's really not that. It's not a priority for him. He's just I'll pay for it. I'll clear up the field, and that's it.
And then just drop the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Which makes him sound so suspicious. Right. You know? And he's like, I just don't want my name getting mudded or muddled, what is it? Whatever.
Drag through the mud. Drag.
Yes, thank you.
I'm it's coming. It's coming.
Properly anymore. Yeah.
I know. And honestly, this mayor, she kills me. I really don't like her character. I normally love to hate people. I've seen her twice. They've only shown her twice. And I just hate the mayor. She said this whole thing was nonsense. Mm-hmm. I mean, girls are sick. They're twitching. How is that nonsense?
I don't know. I think she's talking about the show. I don't know, really.
Mina's clearly a big fan.
I will be. Yeah. I think I'm bitter right now because I just feel like I binge watched all these episodes and I'm still nothing has happened. I've literally just watched all these episodes and nothing has happened.
It's slow.
I could have just watched the trailer. That's all I needed to do is watch the trailer to be caught up.
Yeah. So what do we know so far? I mean, we know
that the most important thing, more than anything else, is that we know that Joanna's dad yawns before he says something when he's lying, and that he also will say, I'll tell you one thing before he's going to lie.
And it says, I tell you one thing.
She still can't detect that something fishy's going on because he didn't have one of those two tells, really.
She has blinders up when it comes to her dad. It's so annoying because she's supposed to be so intelligent. And then she doesn't even know when her own dad's lying. And it's like a very clear, I'm lying. Like it's a halo over him. I'm lying. I have secrets. And she just can't tell.
But, you know, she did grow up with mainly him and was abandoned by her mother. So I feel like that makes her kind of have to have like this loyalty to her father, because who else does she really have in her family? She doesn't have a boyfriend anymore.
Yeah,
doesn't
no
have siblings. Well,
but she does. But wait.
Wait a minute.
So wait, we're gonna get into that, but before we even do, I thought that Joanna and Luna's relationship was weird because one,
Same.
I feel like one, it was disrespectful. It was because, okay, Luna's maybe 16, she's in high school, and she's working on this case in this hotel room with Joanna. She stays the night. Joanna never thinks like, maybe I should call her mom and let her know she's staying in our hotel room over the night.
It's called an internship. Get with the program.
What type of but you at least know where, like, she should at least be like, you know, did you tell your mom?
And wasn't she sleeping on the bed next to her?
Yes.
That's what I thought. That's why I was so confused when I was watching it. I was like, this is not professional. This is weird.
It's very weird. And they don't even know each other that well. It's like, I was like, this is creeping me out. Maybe it's my own, like, dirty mind, but why are they sleeping in the same room, in the same bed?
Yeah, it felt like she was like her mom or something. I don't know. There was something about it where I was like, this is not like a normal professional relationship. What is happening?
And the next thing you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. But then the next morning I thought, okay, she's gonna go home. But no, she's like, do you want me to drive you to that party that I know your mom doesn't want you to go to, which is her Kukum's birthday party, which is her grandma.
It's almost like they're implying that there's a sisterly relationship already without it really being there. But it's like, just because your sister's biologically doesn't give you the right to come in when you don't even know this person and have that like big sister role where you're the cool sister. Like, I'll take you.
And Joanna, she doesn't even know that they're sisters yet. So she's just being a creep before she even knows. And now I get it, though. I get why they did all that, because they had this big reveal that, yes, they're sisters. Maybe, allegedly, since the dad didn't say yes or no, but
she's a liar.
She's crazy. Jerry Lynn is crazy.
Okay. All of them are liars.
Mina was able to tell that line that he was gonna call her crazy.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, and I feel like it's so easy to predict. You predicted.
So I'm like, wait.
You're like, have you watched the episode? No, I have not. I don't.
You predicted way too many lines. I'm like, you must have seen this already.
Don't give me credit for writing it, though. I do not want to get that credit.
Oh, burn. Oh, she doesn't want the credit because the writing is
gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
It's predictable. I will give you that.
It's weird though, because like even back in the day, like now that I think about it, Smallville was cheesy too. It was genuinely one of my favorite CW shows ever. Like I was obsessed with Smallville, and that's why like seeing Kristen Krug come back from Smallville to this, she looks exactly the same, by the way, and hasn't aged. I'm like, is she a vampire? Like, what's happening?
Maybe they'll reveal that as well.
Yes,
she's also a vampire.
Yes, but
they're vampire sisters.
But I love that she's like on another CW show, and I'm still rooting for this, and I think conceptually it's so strong. It's just, well, like, what do you think is missing from it? Because there is a lot of potential here, but there's certain things where I'm like, no. And I think it's because part of it is they don't trim out scenes that you don't need, and they add too much of nothing happening.
That I definitely agree. They had too much of nothing happening.
30 minutes would be good, and I'd be like, this is a good show. Yeah. Because the concept's there.
Other than that, I think the show's supposed to be a drama. So I think they try to make it dramatic, but dramatic in a cheesy way. If they could just take some notes from How to Get Away with Murder or Scandal, I feel like that's the right type of drama. Both of those shows can also be not believable at times, but it was like the right amount of drama. It kept you on edge. While this isn't giving me enough that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait until the next episode. I'm just like, all right, well, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm not on the edge of my seat wondering.
And there's no, like, with Scandal, I feel like there's a lot of personality with the characters.
Yeah.
Here, I just feel like, what are each of their personalities? Like,
it's also true.
If I try to, like, look at Joanna's personality, like, yeah, we know some stuff about her, but what's her personality like? Okay, she's quiet, she's analytical, like, but
she's dry.
But everything is so bland and blah. And I'm not just saying this about her. I'm saying this about the high school students that were affected with this. I'm saying this about even Matheson. I'm saying this about, like, Geraldine Spence probably has more personality than the other ones. And, like, but who cares, you know? Like, I just feel like there's not a single character that stands out to me other than Kristen, just because I like her from Smallville and she's beautiful. But other than that, I'm like, there's no one that really stands out. And it kind of feels like a partial waste because you have an opportunity to have such a strong female lead, and I feel like that potential and talent was squandered.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball. I feel like you're absolutely right. I'm not attached to any of these characters. And normally I'm so attached, like, I love TV shows. I'm a TV show junkie, and I feel like I know the characters. I'm so invested in them, and there's not one character that, like, if the show was going to be canceled tomorrow, that I'll be like, no, but I need to know what's going to happen. I'm not invested in any of them.
Yeah, like, I keep thinking, like, what is it trying to do? Like, if you're trying to go the romance route and develop something with one of the characters, do that. Or if you're trying to be like, okay, I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing that's going on with my dad, then do that. But it's going in all these weird different directions where it highlights the students, and then it highlights, like, another scene in a dark tavern or, like, restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so disjointed, and it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm just not completely following it, but I really still, weirdly enough, even though
want to see what happens,
like, I still want to know what happens though, and that's the part that I don't get. Like, why do I still want to know what happens when I'm getting so annoyed?
It's true. I mean,
so there has to be something there.
I feel like they set up all these little storylines because it's all gonna, like, tie in at the end, and I hope so. I hope so, because then it could be pretty epic. It could, but if they don't tie it up really well, then it could just be like, why? Yes. But why? This show just has so many secrets, and I think they could start dropping them more. Like, give us the answers now. Just give it to us already. Which makes me think of our Two Truths and a Lie that we do every week, where I have 3 cases that are just crazy bizarre, and there are 2 of them that are true and one that I just make up because, you know, I'm creative sometimes. I just like to make up stories. And so I'm going to remind you guys, and I'll let you know too, what ours was from last week. You guys listening? Yes. All right, so here is our first one from last week. There was an 8-year-old boy who was sued by his aunt for a careless hug. He gave her a hug. He was so excited to see her, and she fell and broke her wrist. She was suing for $127,000 because she says it's negligence and carelessness. True or made up? I'll move on. Then there was a lawyer who was suing several casinos for causing her gambling addiction. She says that they should have a warning that gambling can be addicting. And this is just weird because, I feel like babies know that gambling can be addicting, but we don't even know if it's true. And last one was a woman is suing her neighbor for $150K because her dog is constantly pooping on her lawn. She is claiming harassment, emotional distress, and negligence. Why is everyone suing for negligence? I cannot say that word. It's very hard for me to say. So, do you guys know which one is true? Which 2 are true? Which one is fake? Did you have a guess before? You know the answers now, don't you?
I know, yeah. Okay, and from the beginning, like, I knew right off the bat one of them because I've heard the story before, so I'm not going to say which one. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of these are so ridiculous. Like, the fact that you would sue for, like, gambling addiction, that just makes me think, like, okay, what if you invest in cryptocurrency and it goes, like, it goes down and crashes? Are you going to sue whoever created that blockchain
Someone
technology?
probably will. Well, I'll give you guys the answer. So, the true one that is true is yes, the 8-year-old boy is being sued by his aunt. Yeah. That was the one you knew about.
Yeah, because I've heard that story before, and I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous, but I also genuinely do understand, like, she doesn't want to, like, if she broke her wrist, why should she have to pay for those hospital visits?
Suing your own nephew. I mean, she sues the 8-year-old boy. I mean, obviously his family would have to pay, but
yeah, because she doesn't want to have to pay for it.
That is cold.
It's not her kid.
So now it's between the neighbor with the pooping dog or the lawyer, and
I would have never guessed this, by the way.
The pooping dog is fake. I just made that up. That was in my head. I don't know. I just see dogs pooping around LA, and I'm just like, I would love to sue you. Clean up after your dog. But no, I just made that up, which means the lawyer suing several casinos is actually true. She doesn't win that case, by the way, because, I mean, yes, gambling is addicting, guys, so that's nothing.
I love that she sued for $20 million, by the way. Like, how do you come up with that calculation?
How do they ever come up with that calculation? So,
like, not 1 million, 20 million in lawsuits.
20 million. Because she said she can't live a normal life anymore, so that's why.
Because her law career is not going too great right now.
I know. I wonder if she still has her job. All right, so we got 3 new ones for you guys. Mina, you don't even know which one is fake this time.
I'm really excited for this.
All right, the first one is, are you guys listening? A woman tries to sue the landlords of her workplace because she was assaulted by a seagull outside of her workplace.
Oh, okay.
A seagull. She fell and injured herself, and she wants $7,000. So reasonable this time.
Yeah,
this is reasonable.
That's like
right?
7 MacBucks.
For an evil seagull. Yeah. I hate seagulls. All right, the next one is a police officer was hit with a pineapple at a protest that she was sent to manage. Her injury was so severe she spent 3 years mentally scarred. She is suing for $1.5 million. All right? I know, right? Anyways. And our last one is a woman is suing her husband for $1 million for too much affection. She claims that her husband calls her 50 times a day and randomly shows up at her job. She believes it's a form of stalking and harassment.
Now, this is her husband. Restraining order.
And she doesn't want a divorce.
Get a restraining order. What are you doing?
So we've got the attack of the seagull, we've got the pineapple protest, and we've got the woman suing because her husband is way too affectionate. Ooh, so which 2 are true and which one is false?
Okay, hold on. For some reason, I'm going to say the first one is false because it seems too reasonable, and I feel like you would have made that one up.
All right. Well, I'm not giving the answers this time, though. I'm not giving the answers. We're going to do it next week, but that's yours. That's what Mina's guess is. You guys got to let me know what yours is.
I don't know which one's true, though. That one's hard.
Yay, good. I had to mix it up.
The pineapple one is definitely not true. There's no way that you would have a brain injury for 3 years from a pineapple being thrown at you.
She was mentally scarred.
Oh, mentally scarred. Mentally scarred. Okay.
For 3 years. That pineapple.
Traumatized.
Pineapples are, they're spiky. You never know.
You never have pineapple pizza again.
I know. Who knows? But guys, let us know. You can DM us, tweet us, find us anywhere on social media, and let me know your guesses.
Yeah.
All right.
And plus, we know that you guys are invested in this show. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching the after show right now.
Of course,
but
right.
Guess what? Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. So not just this show, not just Burden of Truth, also a ton of other ones. So, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help, guys. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't be, because they're totally optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did in the comments and we'll thank you on air. You'll get a very special shout out from Parris and I. And, for now, thank you so much for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Amazing. How great is Mina's reading voice? It's just so clear. I love it. Thank you. But yes, guys, we've got so many options. Like, seriously, a lot of options. If you're a TV junkie like I am, check out these after shows. They're amazing. I watch a lot. But let's get back into it. I wanted to also point out that in this episode, we were saying that Joanna's kind of dry, that she doesn't really have too many emotions. But we saw her get a little bit emotional at the end.
Yeah.
But, she cried for, good 30 seconds. No, probably less, like 10 seconds.
Oh, the emotional breakdown when she's in
crying.
that motel.
Yeah, she finds
Get
out
me out of here.
that her dad sucks. Like, as I've been saying, I honestly, Mina, every episode, I'm just like, her dad is a slime ball. I've got to come up with another word because I say slime ball, sketchy.
Slime ball suits him. I get that. Like, kind of slimy, but also like slimy in this really weird, like, charismatic way.
I know.
Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like,
He's handsome.
like, ew, but like, oh, but I feel like he could get away with anything.
Well, including pedophilia, almost. I mean, if he... Okay.
I mean, let's get this straight. But this happens all the time in Hollywood, by the way. I'm saying, like, girls date, like, what, 20 years older than...
True.
Like, what's the greatest age gap you think is appropriate?
That I think is appropriate?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
like
about that.
Years,
I think 10 years is max.
Yeah,
I really
same.
think that's enough.
Some people go 20 years older than them. Is that pedophilia, though? I mean, when you're under 18, it is.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so if you're under 18, it is.
And the daughter has to be at least, the high school student has to be at least, what, 14? Which means that
15.
if she's 14, I can't do math.
Please don't put me on the spot. She has to be like 15. I think she said she was a sophomore.
Yeah.
So 15. But it's just weird.
Yeah.
Overall, it means that the dad was messing around with Jerry Lynn when she was, I mean, how old is Joanna supposed to be? 20? She's supposed to be 30?
If she's 30, that means she had her at, the other lady had her at 15.
Yikes.
And then her dad is, what, 40? I don't know. This whole thing doesn't make sense.
She had to be like 15, 16, and the dad had to be like 30s, in his 30s or 40s.
Unless there's some weird, like, time travel element in this show, there's no way that I can, like, reconcile those two things.
Does it make sense? I mean, he didn't admit to it yet. He didn't really say no. He said she's crazy. She's just crazy.
He said it's a vicious, nasty rumor.
Right,
and
but...
it's like there's no smoke without fire. Or is there no fire without smoke?
These damn sayings. That, I know what you mean. I know what you...
Yeah, I cannot articulate my thoughts right now.
It's just creepy.
My brain is fried by this show.
Maybe that's why he had to disappear so much. Maybe everyone found out that he's this pedophilic, is that a word? I don't know, creep. And so he had to dash away the mom, send her to a crazy home. And then, no, I don't know. I think, honestly, I think it's time to get in predictions. I don't know where else to go from here.
Yeah.
Predictions?
We gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so I definitely think that Joanna's mom is gonna come back in the picture because at first I was like, wait, is her mom dead? And then you realize, no, she just like abandoned her. And I think Joanna's gonna figure out, like, have this heart-to-heart with her mom and figure out, no, I never abandoned you.
Yeah.
Like, I was separated from you because of this, and I knew I could never come back because then it would ruin this one thing, and this is the missing piece of the puzzle to everything
waiting for
you've been
that.
looking for. Yeah, so...
But what? Ruin what one thing? Like, why would her mom just never even try to contact her? Like,
it has to do with the dad, though, and she's probably trying to protect Joanna. But the weird thing is, Joanna does say, my mom was never great with affection. That's probably why she left. But it's like there has to be a reason for these things. And I feel like that might also play into why Joanna is the way she is and why she's not super affectionate and she doesn't really show a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
She's kind of stoic, which is really atypical for a female, especially the way females are portrayed in television. We never see like a stoic, calm, unemotional woman.
Yeah.
We just don't see that. So it is very interesting that we do get to see that now, but
it's true.
I'm just trying to understand.
And I'm all for
from.
like women empowerment and equality. I want the image of women to change.
Yes.
But it's sad that I actually want her to be a little bit more emotional. Like, give me something. I want some highs and lows, but we just get like a straight...
I think she just internalizes all of that and isn't okay, like, showing it. And I think some cultures even say that it's shameful to show those emotions, but
it's true.
We're so used to reality TV where people are just crying and screaming every second that
we would like a little bit more.
Yeah, I do too.
So where do we think? So we do get a little bit more information. So with the dad, he's actually in Millwood. So where can this possibly go?
Why is he in Millwood? That just happened randomly. Like, she literally walked into the door, and then I see her dad there, and I'm like, wait, when did this happen? Did I miss something?
You didn't really miss anything. There was no conversation that said he was going to come.
Yes.
But he did say he wanted her to come back to wherever she's supposed to be from, some big city.
And randomly
But
he was just there.
And there's no, like, surprise you're here.
There's
it's just
no
like
explanation.
No.
That's why I'm like, what is going on? Like,
yeah.
am I going crazy right now too?
Right.
Like the mom, because I just
like the mom. Sad mom.
I don't.
I wonder. I'm so curious about who the mom, because I also think she's going to pop up as well. And I'm just so curious about who this actress is going to be, because they've spoken so much about the mom. There's so much history there. I'm like, I hope she's a great actress. I'm invested in this mom, and I don't even know anything about her, but I feel like the most.
Do you think it'll be a new character or someone that has kind of been hiding out in the school?
Ooh.
Like, do you think we've seen her as an extra or something, and we just haven't been introduced to her, or do you think it's going to be a completely brand new character? Because sometimes that happens. We're just like, you're my mom? What?
She should know her mom. Like how
she doesn't know her sister.
Yeah, but she didn't even know she had.
I know.
No, she should know her mom. So I'm guessing it's going to be a brand new character, unless her mom had like a face-off transplant type thing. Who knows? And she's just lurking. Like, I've been here the whole time. I think it's going to be a new character. But I do like to speculate really odd things.
I know, that's the best prediction I've ever heard. I genuinely hope that's true. That would actually get me to be super invested in this show, I swear.
Like if Billy is actually her mom.
Yeah.
She had like a whole sex change, and it's like, actually.
Yeah. It needs to be something super dramatic, like something that we would have never anticipated.
But other than that, they also are still trying to figure out who was the person driving that SUV that ran them off the road.
This feels like Scooby-Doo. Like,
I do. You know, and we would have got it.
If it wasn't for those starved kids, those meddling. Yes. That's what this whole thing is. It's Scooby-Doo.
Any guesses on who could that be? Who could be behind this running them off the road? Could be Ben, the dad, Matheson.
What if it's someone that she trusts, that she thinks is
on her side?
Yes. Who's on her side right now?
Really, just Billy.
What if it was her sister?
She's working with her, but also working against her.
Or what if it genuinely was
Jerry Lynn?
Yeah, where she's like, you need to leave.
She was angry. Or the girl who punched her. There's so many people who hate Joanna in this town.
What if just all of them got together in the car and drove? Everyone's in
Everyone in the town just like, we hate Joanna.
Let us know your predictions below, by the way. Like, who do you think is in that car? That's what I want to find out.
Exactly. And any predictions. We're just joking around over here. Just because it's hard to, there's not that much to work off. So we're just shooting the shoot. Is that something?
Shooting the shoot.
Shooting the shoot.
Bleep this post.
But yes, you guys, you have a whole week to let us know what you think. I know it's tough, but
how do people, like, this makes me think, how do lawyers actually do this in the real world, where they're trying to figure out a case and they're like, okay, this is all the evidence we have. I guess we got to go find some people and interview them and gather more evidence and talk to people who might be witnesses in this case. Like,
I have no patience, so I could never.
Very long process.
But she did subpoena Ben, so maybe we'll get a little more. He looked kind of devastated to be subpoenaed, so. But what can we even get from Ben? Yes, that they are the one that's holding the chemicals, which I wouldn't even be that surprised to know.
And what kind of chemicals are these? Like, what kind of waste is it?
The worst kind, like, the kind that makes you twitch. The worst kind. Chemicals that I don't want to be around because I don't want that happening to me.
It's gonna give them superhero powers. Like,
I know, that would be awesome.
Yeah, like, do that at this point. Why not?
Just take it like there. Just take it far left. That's actually right. Far left. All right, guys. That's pretty much all we've got for you guys, right? I mean, would you agree?
I must say that I do love that it's a Canadian cast, because Canadians are
fully
the nicest
Canadian
people. So I kind of feel bad right now for being so mean and like snarky, because I genuinely, it's like Degrassi was a Canadian cast. I love my Canadians, and
Degrassi.
They can't defend themselves. They're all the way over there. So
I know. I mean, we're not the only two sassy ones. The people in the town are sassy too. Damn it, But yeah, you're right. We're being harsh on these Canadians.
Yeah, but I hope it gets better. That's all I want.
It will. Well, I believe our followers, they say stick with it. It's gonna get better. So you guys stick with us. as we just unravel all of these dramatic episodes, right?
Yes.
If you guys didn't have predictions, you can find me, Parris Rose with 2 R's, on Instagram at Parris Rose, on Twitter at Parris Rose TV. Mina, where can they find you?
You guys can follow my adventures on Instagram and Twitter at Mina Makes Magic.
All right, that's all we got. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.